Hello, I am Rembrandt, and we are going to draw today. This month's theme is fall or autumn. Now, the reason I chose that is because our composer of the month is Vivaldi, and he wrote his most famous piece is The Four Seasons. And so I thought autumn would go right along with that, and we will continue with that theme by drawing an autumn picture. So you can see, I want you to have a chance to see what it is we're going to draw before we draw it, so you get an idea how much space on your paper you're going to need to leave. So I will take us through the steps and we can add things. I will try to make it closer. So I'm going to suggest that you take your paper and you make it go in what's called landscape, okay? So I want you to draw landscape so you have plenty of room to go across the page as we draw and fill in things. So I'm going to erase this and we're going to get started. All right, so I have my dry erase board, my marker. I have a ruler for a few things. I'm going to tip this a little bit more so hopefully you can see a little better. We're going to start by drawing a scarecrow. And we will draw the scarecrow just in the middle of your paper. And we will start by drawing a vertical line. I will use my ruler to keep it nice and straight. And I will draw a vertical line down the center, pretty much the center. And then I will move my ruler over and draw another line straight down. Hopefully they are parallel, yes. And then I can fix the ends in a moment, but I'm going to go ahead and draw a horizontal line close to the top. So I will draw out my horizontal line on both sides. Try to make it about equal. And we'll draw a parallel line just underneath to give the sense of two poles crossing each other. Now, scarecrows are in the gardens to scare away the crows, right? And so they look like a little man because if there are men or a woman out in the field, it will scare away the crows. The crows don't always know it's not a real person, right? So our scarecrow, we're going to start with a head, and we're going to put kind of a circle shape, just kind of curved right where it crosses, and bring it up. And that means that I can erase the lines inside, because I have a bit of a face there. And next we're going to draw a jacket for our scarecrow. So we will come out just a little bit on the right side of the face and bring a line that is kind of parallel, but it's just slight diagonal coming in along our pole. We'll bring the cuff down, nice vertical line there, and we will bring another line. It's a slight diagonal the other way into our center pole, and then we are going to bring a slight diagonal line down vertically. We are going to do the same thing on the other side. Come out of the left side, slight diagonal line, maybe not quite so far, we'll make it about equal, vertical line, and bring this down as the arms of the jacket, a slight diagonal line over to the left coming out. We'll make it the same length as the other side. Now we are going to bring our lines in horizontally towards the pole. So we'll do one on each side. And then we can bring our jacket up. We can cross over this line of the pole if we want to bring it in all the way up. And same thing on the other side. And now we can erase some lines on the inside. We will not be able to see the pole anymore, will we? When we have a scarecrow wearing clothes on it. So we will erase these lines for the pole inside of the sleeves. And I of course erased some lines, so I will fix them maybe with a pencil, which is a little easier not to erase all these lines. But we can always fix them, right? We can change things to make them the way we want. I will also erase some lines in here. Tidy up my jacket. Bring these back up. Okay, so we have a coat on a pole, our scarecrow, and we can close the ends of our pole so we can see that it is a pole. And now we are going to add a hat to our scarecrow. So we're going to start at the top of this circle shape that we left open at the top, and we are going to draw another circle shape, actually a narrow oval at the top, which will become the brim of the hat. So we'll just go like this, so it's sticking out of the sides. It almost looks like a halo as we start out. And then I can erase the little lines of the face that are sticking up into the brim. And we will bring out of the brim. We will put a little dot kind of in the center. Okay, so we're starting from this dot and we're going up on a horizontal line. And this side, so it comes together. And we will connect the top with a straight line. Then we will bring the bottom together with a bit of a curve. And we will erase the part of the brim in the center. Don't need to see that. And we will bring a little bit of a band there. Now, scarecrows have straw. So we will bring some pieces of straw hanging out of the hat. Kind of looks like hair. We will also have some straw coming out of the sleeves. Now, usually we don't put our best jackets onto a scarecrow, do we? We put an old jacket, some old clothes. So on the jacket, we will put some patches. So I will just create some little lines to make some little square shapes on our jacket. Okay, just some boxes, squares or rectangles. Different places on the jacket. And we'll put a little stitching. So I will put two little lines on a few of the sides as if we stitched them there. Just a few little details like this. You may not be able to see mine as clearly. I tried to get as close as I could to the camera, but you know, with the computer, it's a little tricky. Okay, so we have some patches, and we're also going to have a little line across here, just as if he has a shirt on underneath. And from here, we can make a little collar almost. So we're going to draw a curved line, comes in, and one from the other side. And then we bring that line straight down the middle. So it is like the center of a shirt. And he needs a little collar. So on the left side, I will bring a vertical line. And I will bring an angle up to meet. Then we will do the same thing on the right side. Now remember, I don't like it. I want it even. So I make mistakes, you feel better. You can always erase and make it better to match what you want. Okay, now remember, if you're having trouble following along, I will put out a replay of this video, and so you can try again later, but just follow along as best you can now, and hopefully you will get a nice scarecrow like mine. And so one last thing, we want him to have a face. So we will give him kind of a teardrop nose, just color in some eyes, and we will give him a smile. It's okay for the scarecrow to smile. The crows, he does not have to look scary. The crows just think there is a person there, and then they're hopefully not going to come and bother the crops, right? All right, so we started with a scarecrow. How are you doing with your scarecrow? All right, very good. Oh, nice. Okay, so at the bottom, we're just going to put, I'm going to straighten mine out. I'm going to just put some clumps of grass. So I make kind of a curved line, make it come up to a point and bring it back down for blades of grass. Doesn't always, yeah, I'm making them more like flames. So I will, and we can bring it aside. Then we want maybe a clump over here. And a clump of grass over here. Just to give a little bit of perspective. Now, let's learn to draw something else. We are going to learn to draw a pumpkin. There are a couple different ways you can draw a pumpkin. So we will try both ways. So if we want a big pumpkin, and I think I'm actually going to erase my grass right there, and I'm going to put a big pumpkin right at the foot of my scarecrow. Okay, so the way I'm going to draw a big pumpkin is I'm going to draw a circle shape. It's actually going to be a long oval circle shape. So I'm going to draw a big oval and try to make it about the same on all sides. And then from the oval, I'm going to bring out a little line, and it's going to be another curved line. I'm going to try and match the curve of the first oval that I drew, though. So I'm going to bring this out, and this is going to be about parallel to the curve and come back in, and we will draw one more just like it, making it parallel. If we make it too big, it makes the whole thing look lopsided. So now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We'll bring a little curved line out of the top and then run it parallel to the curve of our first oval, and do another one coming out the top a little bit higher and bringing it down like this. Okay, so this is one way to draw a pumpkin, and of course it needs a stem. So from where this third piece of the pumpkin on the left side is meeting, I'm going to bring a curved line up and curve it over like this. I will do the same thing on the other side, come where they meet here, this third piece to the second piece. I will bring it out, and then I will make it parallel to the beginning of the stem. And I will draw a circle shape where the stem meets. Okay, so we have a big pumpkin. Yes, very good. We have a big pumpkin at the bottom of our scarecrow, and sometimes pumpkins have these extra vines. So I will add some extra vines by just having a little bit of a curved line come out like this, and then it will circle around like this. And maybe there's one over here that curves around like this. And we could even have a little leaf come out of it. So we will bring a leaf out. I will have a stem come out like this. And then from the top, well, it's not the top. It would be the top of the leaf, but the leaf is upside down, so it's the bottom. I will bring a curved line like this. Okay, you see I'm bringing it out to the right to a point, and then from that I bring another little curve, and then I bring another little curve that comes into the stem. And I will try to do a mirror image of it. Curve, and back to the stem. And maybe a little bit of lines on there to make it look more like a leaf. Now, that's a lot of detail for a pumpkin, but if you're drawing just one pumpkin, if you want to draw just one big picture of a pumpkin, these are some details you might want to think about, okay? So some leaves, some little vines coming out of it. Now another way to draw a pumpkin, and it will look a little different than this one, I will put a smaller pumpkin in the background, is you can just draw almost a circle, but maybe a little wide circle, so kind of an oval to the side. And you will draw from the center of the top, I will put a little dot there so you can see it maybe. And I'm going to bring a curved line. I'm going to bring the curved line back into the center. So you see, you don't want to just draw straight up and down stripes. You want them to be slightly curved, maybe not as curved as the edges of your pumpkin, but you can draw a few of those on one side, and then you will do the opposite curve on the other side. On my other side I can fit a few more stripes. Okay, so that's one way. It's another way to draw a pumpkin, and of course you can bring a stem out of the top. Okay, so you have another pumpkin here. Now, this scarecrow is in a pumpkin field, so we can add lots of pumpkins. So I'm actually going to draw a little bit of a line where my pumpkin is sitting, and I'm going to choose a few other places around the bottom of my scarecrow and fill in some pumpkins. Now, here's a tip though, because we are talking about perspective this month also. We want pumpkins at the front of our picture or the bottom of our picture to be very large, okay? So if this is a big pumpkin here next to our scarecrow, we could have a few more big pumpkins here in the front. Maybe even a little bigger than this one because they're in front. But as you go up your page, we're trying to make it look like you're going further away into the distance. So you are going to want your pumpkins to look smaller the higher on the page they are. Now, we don't want any pumpkins up at the top because we are going to have, we want it to look like a field, but we always have a place where the field meets the skyline, right? So we could go ahead and draw ourselves a horizontal line that would be the horizon in the background, right? And we don't want to put pumpkins past that, really, okay? So now, let's fill in a few pumpkins. And then we will add a few other details to our picture. So you can draw your pumpkins one of two ways. Once again, I will demonstrate. You will draw a big, long-looking circle-shaped oval, that is, and you will bring a little line out of it, come around with a curved line that matches the curve of our original oval, and bring another one. And you do the same on the other side. And pumpkins are not always perfectly round or any perfect shape. They can have lots of funny bulges in them. So don't worry if it does not look perfect in your opinion. We'll just add some pumpkins. So that was one way to draw a pumpkin. Another way, and we'll make the ones in the back a little more this shape, is just to draw in a circle shape that is kind of a sideways oval, kind of a fat oval, and then we bring curved line down across the pumpkin. To fill in the lines that way. And put a stem. So the further back we go, the smaller they should get, of course. So let's make some more pumpkins. And then under my pumpkins, I'm just drawing a little line to show that it is sitting on a certain place in the ground. So we could fill in lots more pumpkins, and I will let you fill in more pumpkins later if that's what you want. But I want us to move on with a couple other details of our picture. So we have a horizontal line over here to show us the horizon. So we're going to add a little bit of a fence. Actually, before I add the fence, I want to add a cart. So up here, behind my pumpkin on the right, I'm going to draw a circle shape. I'm going to make it cross my horizon a little bit. Okay, I already feel like that circle shape is a little too big for the cart that is in the background. So I will make it a bit smaller. Okay, and inside of my circle shape, I'm going to draw I'm going to first draw like an X. And then I will draw a line straight up and down and a line across. And then I can connect those with an inner circle inside of the original circle to show a wagon wheel with spokes, right? So coming out, I will erase some of my horizon line. Coming out of my wagon, just about at the center, it will have just a little horizontal line, and then I will come up, slight diagonal. I will come straight across to the right with another horizontal line, and then I will come out of my wagon in the front just with a short horizontal line and bring it up to meet this at a diagonal. Okay, so we have a wagon, and at the front of our wagon, we're going to have a long pole looking piece, right? All right, and then out of the top of our wagon, we'll show the top of a pumpkin. You have to make it pretty small, right? This is, maybe put another big pumpkin here. These pumpkins are pretty far away, so we want them small. Okay, so we have some pumpkins in our wagon. And I will fix the horizontal line on that side in a moment because we'll go over now to our left side. Okay, so on the left side, I'm going to start drawing some vertical lines that are going to be fence posts. So I'm just going to draw, they don't want to be too tall, but we will just go up, attach them at the top, come back down. We're going to try to make them look equidistant from each other as we go across. Okay, and our fence will stop there. I'm going to actually use my ruler to connect these now. So I will connect in between each of these posts that we have created. And then I will go down just a teeny bit, right, to make it about the same width as I made the posts, and connect along there, underneath. And we will go down a bit more than that this time, because we're going to have space in between our slats. This one we will want just a teeny bit again. Okay, so we have a fence in our background. We're going to have a fence that goes on the other side as well, behind our cart. So I will draw back in the horizontal line so we know where we're going. And again, I'm going to draw some fence posts on this side. So these are vertical lines, and I connect the top. Might be a bit wide, honestly. I'm going to make it a little more narrow. Not sure I improved it, but okay, so our fence does not go all the way across. It kind of goes off into another field. I'm going to draw horizontal line between our fence posts. Then I'm going to go down just a tad from that. Then we want the bottom slat. So we will do another horizontal line a little lower. Okay, so we have our fence in the background. We have our pumpkin field. Maybe a few lines got erased a little. We have our cart, our fence looking in the back. So next, let's add, okay, so we know that scarecrows scare away the crows, but that doesn't mean we can't have an owl, right? So we're going to add an owl who will be sitting on the arm of our scarecrow. I know we're adding a lot, aren't we? But again, you can go back and watch the video and you can try and draw each of these separately, but I'm just giving you the opportunity to put them all together in one picture. So I'm just going to draw on the right side. That's what I wanted to do. And so we're going to start with a curve. Almost, we're not going to quite make a circle shape. We're not going to close it at the top, but we're going to make the curve rest right on the arm. And then inside of the curve, I'm going to bring another curved line. And I'm actually adding a little scalloping, so it's a little bit of a curved line. It's almost like 3 little curved lines. I'm actually going to bring it all the way there. Okay, so that's going to be the body of our owl. And then I'm going to bring a curved line across the top like this. And then I'm going to go on the left side and bring the curved line in a little bit. For that, make a mirror image over here. And from these points, I'm going to bring a curved line down and then back up. So, you know, I feel like my owl's head is a little flat, so I'm going to erase it and make it a little taller, make it more what I want. It is okay to erase. Change things to what you want them to be. So, I will try this part again, make it a little taller. And bring it down like this. There we go. That's a better owl head. And our owl needs a little beak, so I'm going to create a diamond shape right in the center. And I will make big eyes, right? Owls have big eyes. We'll just put a little bit of a darkness at the bottom for pupils. And we might even put a little bit of a mark above as if it has eyebrows. I really don't think it has eyebrows, but you never know. And we will bring some curved scallops across to give the sense of feathers. So these are just, I will draw them big. I'm just going like this in tiny places across the feather. Okay, so I'll erase that, but I'm doing small little scallops across. And I will show, well, it's not going to show up very well on mine, but I'm making 3 tiny circles for toes. So maybe, well, you still can't see that very well. Toes that are grasping onto the arm of the scarecrow. And then in the back, I have a little bit of a curve that would be the tail sticking out. Okay, so we also have an owl. So you can practice the owl and make it a large picture if you want to. And there's one more thing we're going to add for our fall picture, and that is a tree. So I'm going to put a tree over on this side. And hopefully I won't erase all my work by drawing over here. But we're going to have a tree trunk, and it's going to come up from behind the fence. And let's see, I want this side to be kind of, I'm going to have it come through the fence like this and just kind of up like that. And then the other side is going to be a little more curved. And I'm going to bring a branch way out there. Then I want to bring this branch line in like this. And bring the line up. And on this side, we'll bring the branch out here. Oops, that one came a little too far. I'm not going to have very many branches on our tree. Make this one come in a little further. Nice big crook here. Okay, so we just have the outline of a tree, okay? Some very big branches. We're not going to draw the small branches. And we're going to draw a general shape of leaves. So we're just going to bring some curved lines out. Just bring a lot of little curved lines. You can connect them. And then on here, okay, so we have a sense of a tree in the background. Now it's fall, so what is happening to all of our leaves? They're going to be falling down. So we'll just draw some stray little leaves coming down, and these will of course be a little curve out and a little curve back in. So we have a bunch of little, we'll just make them football shape coming off of the tree. We will not try to make fancy leaves for this tree. And I will bring a few over here in the sense of the wind blowing them. So a couple little lines to show the wind blowing them across. Okay, I'm going to fix a few lines that I've erased. And You can add lots more pumpkins or other details that you want. You could add some animals in. But how do you like our fall scene? So you can draw when we break it down into steps. And we drew individual characters and added more details, and we can continue to add details until it is what you would like it to be. So we learned to draw a scarecrow and a pumpkin and an owl. We added some perspective by making pumpkins in the background a little smaller than the ones in the foreground. We added fences and a cart and a tree with falling leaves. Okay, thank you. I will see you guys next month.